Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new live stream with just myself this time. Don't forget, tomorrow we're back with Jose, the usual lunchtime hour. Today, I just want to go over a couple of earnings report a couple of companies that reported yesterday. Didn't really want to make videos about that, so we'll just have to go over them in this live stream. I don't know why, but I am moving with the camera, which is quite strange. But anyways, hello to everyone. Hello to you, Marta. Hello to you. Yeah, Marco asked if we should buy before the earnings or not. Pretty straightforward. I mean, today is already a better day than yesterday, I would say. I'll show you in just a second the heat map. But just a good morning, good evening to everyone that's joining. No real plans for this live, just Q&A, earnings review from yesterday. I know there were who reported Lemonade, Coupang, and a couple of other companies as well. So we're going to have a look at those. Hello. So let me first show you the heat map so we can see actually how we're doing today. As you can see, quite okay. All things considered, right? Quite okay. Tesla is down again. But Nvidia is up 4.3%. Broadcom up 5% today. So yeah, I mean, compared to yesterday, this is much better. Much better. I do wonder how SMCI, where is SMCI in all of this? Let me check. SMCI is up only 18% today. Okay, interesting. So I guess the market is happy that they're not getting delisted, but the fact that they're not really or haven't yet fixed any of the real issues is maybe of a bigger concern. But all right. First Solar is up 10%. Yeah, First Solar also reported yesterday. I know yesterday in the live stream with Jose, I said they'll report on Wednesday or Thursday, but no, they reported yesterday. At first, the stock was down, but okay, apparently it's up 10%. To be honest, again, First Solar or Enphase, I think if you want to have that exposure to the energy sector, I think it's quite a good pick. Let's see. Let me check the other stocks we follow, and then we'll start with a quick a quick overview of the rest of the earnings, if you're interested in all of that, of course. So let me zoom in. HIMS is back up 8% after being down 20+% yesterday. Grab is up, Meta, Palantir back above $90. So who's green? Who's red? Google, Tesla, Trade Desk, Apple, Lemonade. Okay, Lemonade only down 1.9%. Last time I checked, was down 15% before the market opened. So I guess the earnings call was a bit better. So yeah, at least there's that. Eduardo says, you're my favorite investing YouTuber. Well, thank you very much, Eduardo. Really appreciate that. Andre asks, I want to open a new position after selling out of SMCI. Got any particular recommendations? I mean, depends what type of stocks you already own in your portfolio, what you want to add. Let's see at fintech right now. I don't know if you're interested in fintech. Robinhood back up 8% today. Sofi is also up. Of course. PayPal has to be down. The PayPal. It's crazy because I listened to the investor day yesterday. I'll have to do a specific video on that because it was very, very interesting. Very interesting. But apparently the market couldn't care less. So PayPal, although I think, when was it? A month or so ago, we're at $90 and it was not PayPal anymore. I think we're back. I think we're back with PayPal for now. This thing will probably go above $100 when I get married. So you better hope that I get married as soon as possible. As for the semi stocks, so SMCI up 19.6%. Micron is up as well. So so I guess Super Micro is picking up all the rest of the semiconductors. And then, of course, the big guy, Nvidia, will report after the market closes. Jose will do a live stream on his channel, so I highly suggest you go and watch that. I'll probably do a quick recap video after the earnings call. No, I'm not going to go live later today. So yeah, all in all, I think we're good today. Even the Chinese stocks are up. What about the bets here? Yeah, so a green day in the market or overall. So that's good. Okay, can't complain. So let's see, a couple of questiones. What do we have? Stupid ads all the time. Ads. Let's see, Stefan, probably Stefan. What would you do right now if you have a small amount in this market, like $500? If I have a small amount like $500, what would I do? Well, probably add to a position that I own already. Probably add to AMD, although I did add yesterday $500 to AMD, actually. So yeah, that's that. ELF over SoFi. I mean, that's a personal thing. I don't think so. I rather own SoFi than ELF. That's just me. Of course, if people are interested in the beauty industry, then you're asking the question, ELF or. Of course, I own SoFi, so I'm biased. But yeah, I rather follow fintech than the beauty industry. Although ELF could be doing very, very well. I know they recovered a little bit since the earnings crash, so at least you're up a little bit if you bought after the earnings. The question, of course, the big question here from Mahesh. Hi, Neil. At what price are you planning to add Palantir to your portfolio? Well, certainly not at $90 at the moment. Previously, I said I wanted to buy at 50s before the last earnings report, but based on the new numbers that we've got, in the 60s, I'll probably buy in the 60s. Might never go to 60, and the next quarter is going to be another good one. So the price I'm willing to pay goes up depending on the growth rates and all of that. But I'm in no rush. Like I don't feel I have to buy Palantir now at these prices. I rather just add to my other positions. Victor here saying, you are not my favorite YouTube investor. Well, thank you very much, Victor. I very much appreciate that comment. Let's see. Hi, June. How are you? Thanks for joining. What do we do with Tesla? So yeah, that's a good question. What do we do with Tesla? So Tesla is at 300. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I did say it would be nice if we see it around $300, and then some people were angry. Oh, why should Tesla go to 300? You're crazy, blah blah blah. I mean, why not, right? Can someone explain why we doubled basically in a couple of months right after the election? No, nobody can explain that. So I don't want to hear anything about, oh, we were at 400 and something and now we're at 300. It's a bargain. Well, we should have never been at 430 to start with. Let's be honest. If you watch my Tesla earnings review, I think the title is still the same. I think I said something like, this doesn't make any sense. Because it really didn't make any sense. It wasn't a good quarter. It just wasn't a good quarter. But the stock had momentum, so yeah. There is that. I'm waiting. I mean, it's already a big enough position for me not to buy every single dip. I see way too many posts out there. Oh, Tesla is down 5%. Buy the dip. Okay, you've been buying the dip for the last $150 or so. That's not a good strategy. So, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the PayPal Investor Day was good. Was a good one. Lots of great information, and to be honest, I see their vision as really becoming a super app for the West, and they can do it because they have the two-sided network, the merchant and the consumer one. They did say something very interesting with regards to when you go to a website, to one of your favorite, let's say you go on Nike, because I know some people like Nike at these prices. You go on Nike and you don't have to, well, usually what you have to do is you choose your shoe and then you choose your size. And sometimes you look at the shoe, you're like, I love this, but it doesn't have your size. And then you're like, oh, okay, screw this. But what they want to do is, based on your profile that you have created with PayPal, is automatically put that size of the shoe or of whatever. But I think they gave a sneaker example. Like you go on your shoe, bam, the size already there, check out, you're done. Not, oh, check out and then actually sold out. We don't have your size anymore. It's all about making it all very personalized and making sure that you're paying in a seamless way. Of course, they talked about advertising and all of that. So to me, it was a very, very good one. And to be honest, if it continues like this, although PayPal is already, to be honest, a very big position, I wouldn't mind buying more, because this thing eventually will have to go up, or they could just take the company private at one point. Do you think that Sofi can enter the S&P 500? It can. I just don't know when. The market cap has to be, I think the market cap has to be above $18 billion, if I remember correctly. We're not there. We're at 15.26. So I think, eventually, yes, but it's not really in my thesis of, oh, it will enter the S&P 500. No, it will do what it has to do as a business. They're executing quite good. So I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Of course, if they do get included whenever, that would be great as well. Christine asked, would you add Rocket Lab? I know Rocket Lab is trading at closer to $20, 21 now. I think earnings tomorrow. Yeah, 27. To be honest, I mean, I'm up already, as you know, 400, 500% on that position. But it was a small position to start with. So the last time I went into the earnings and I bought before the earnings, and of course, that was a great move. This time, Yeah, I mean, with the pullback that we're seeing, we were at $30 at the end of January. So yeah, I like it much better at these prices before an earnings report than at $30. But of course, any delay in Neutron will push this stock back down to even $10 or so. But yeah, I'm tempted. I'm tempted to buy before the earnings again. Matthew asked here about SoFi. I did add already a couple of days ago. Anything around $13-14 I'll take when I have cash and when I don't want to add to an AMD or something like that. Samad asked me why I'm always negative. When was I negative exactly? I am always bullish. Just sometimes I'm not going to lie to you and be like all the other, I'd call them grifters, and tell you that, oh, you have to buy the dip, you have to buy. No, sometimes stocks are very expensive and it doesn't make sense to buy them. Unless you're happy to burn money, then of course do whatever you want. So yeah. We got some questions about the trade desk. So the trade desk, of course, reported and then the stock went down a lot, as you can see right here. Poof. Which, to be honest, makes sense. If you've been following the company and the stock, this was very expensive. A very good company, only missed once in the last 8 years, which was this time. And then the stock crashed. Of course, now the price is much better than before, although it's not the cheapest stock out there, but it's a very good company. Do I want to buy it? No, not right now. I used to own it. I did very well with that, but no, I rather concentrate. If you want to, again, these are, if you look at teams, why do you buy the trade desk? Because you probably want exposure to advertising, right? It's basically the sector that they're in. I'm in advertising through Meta and Google, and I'm very happy with that, especially with Google still trading at what? Still 180 or something like that? No, 175. Even better. Even better. So yeah. I rather keep buying Alphabet. Can we get some Spanish talk? I'll ask my co-host tomorrow if we can do some Spanish live streams. Pero yo no habla español or something like that. My Duolingo is currently on another language. So I did Spanish for a while, let's say. So on and off. But every time I'm learning to say I'm eating an apple doesn't really get me that far. So yeah. I didn't skip your question. There are just many questions in the chat. And sometimes, yeah, okay, I'll skip the question because too many questions come in. So if I miss it, just repeat it. So don't forget to Control C or Command C and then Control V, copy paste. What do you think about Robinhood? It lost all its gains. Do you think it's time? Did it lose all its gains? I don't think it lost all its gains. It's up 8% today. It's still up 33.5% year to date. So I don't know. It's flat month over month. It's true that it was above $60, but then again, a lot of stocks traded at super high prices for God knows what reason. But do I like Robinhood? Yeah. If I had Robinhood in Europe, I would probably use it. I very much regret selling Robinhood, even though I did double my the performance. But going in with Robinhood, as you remember, we talked about it with Arnie when it was $8. It was a trade. That's why I opened the position, because it was just extremely undervalued. There was a huge disconnect. And then when it went to $17, quite quickly actually, I was like, okay, I doubled my money in record time. It was a trade position. I sold. Of course, then it went down a little, went back up, went back down. As you can see, these little roller coasters here. I could have, should have, would have, blah blah blah. Yeah, could have bought back because it was, they had the momentum as a business. But yeah, I just kept adding to Sofi and PayPal and all of that. So of course this would have been a much better move, but I still think that I'll be fine with PayPal in the future. Umar says hello to you. Let's see. No, it's yo come una manzana is the apple. It's always the same thing in Duolingo. It's like, fine, okay. Well, what happens if I don't want an apple? If I want a peach or something, I don't know. Or a nectarine. It's also not bad. Let's see. I think I've seen this question. Virgin Galactic, I have zero interest in that one. Really zero interest in that one. How do I feel about ASML and Snowflake? ASML, I feel we talk about it way too much. I mean, on every live stream, I think. Great company, great management. If you like the equipment side of the semiconductor industry, it's one of the best ones out there. Snowflake, I owned it before, sold it after the last earnings pump, which was right here. Made a little bit of money, but decided to put it all in other stocks. It's a good company. They also report tonight, I believe, with Salesforce as well. So we'll see. I expect them to continue to grow quite quickly. Net dollar retention also, I think, still above 120%. So really very, very good. Plus, they were one of the first ones that stopped spending so much on GPUs last year. They said, we're not going to continue to invest and buy more until we actually see the results, the ROI makes sense. So we'll see. I think that was a good move, to be honest. So we'll see. Instant Defense asks, when's my birthday? May 11th. So yeah, we have a little bit over 2 months to get to 100,000 subscribers, which should be feasible if I keep working. Expectations for Dlocal tomorrow. So Dlocal got an upgrade today from I don't know who. Let me check, because someone sent me a text. Dlocal got a JP Morgan raise to $18. So that's probably why it's up 6% today. What do I expect tomorrow? To be honest, after last quarter, I think margin continues to go up. Growth should be there, profitability should be there. Probably all about FX headwinds, again, just like we've seen with Nu. So if the stock goes down like Nu, 18%, I wouldn't be surprised. Although 18% was a bit much. So yeah, Nu is already back at $11.60. So it's one of those. Nu is really one of those companies that I want to own, but then again, I don't really have so much cash to start building another position, especially now that I'm building my AMD position. So we'll see. Do you think Robinhood enters the S&P 500? Didn't they already get into the or not? I don't know. Let's see. Robinhood S&P 500 inclusion. Let's see. Probably not. Do I think they can? Yeah, maybe. There's always a list of like those random companies that you never think about that get into it, like GoDaddy last year. Like you didn't think about GoDaddy getting included in the S&P. So yeah. Eventually, yes. Like if they continue to be profitable, eventually they'll get in. Roughsec asks what I think about UiPath, and he writes this in French to see if I will answer. I will answer. And to be honest, I think UiPath is just a company begging to be acquired at this moment. Like every single quarter, we're like, okay, this is the turnaround, this is the turnaround, but I guess not. I guess not. At a market cap just short of $7 billion, could be a very easy acquisition. I know they're a leader in their segment of the market and all of that, but with AI and co-pilots and agents and all of that, I mean, it can easily be replaced. So yeah, I wouldn't buy it. Donc voilà. J'espère que ma réponse t'a plu. I'm probably the only one in finance YouTube that talks multiple languages on his channel on live streams. What's my outlook for Tesla? Well, hopefully it becomes one of the largest companies on the planet and I can retire comfortably. Now, with the timelines, I don't know. Robotaxis, autonomous, Optimus. I'm very excited for the launch of the Tesla Semi later this year. To be honest, everybody's talking about, oh, robotaxi launch pilot, blah, blah, blah in Austin. But I want to see Tesla semis to launch later this year. Hook them. One extra sub. Thank you very much. Welcome. Welcome to the Couch Empire. What else? Nebius. I think Nebius is back up, no? Yep. Well, this is one hell of a volatile stock. Like it goes down, then back up, then go down, then back up. But of course, year to date, it's still up 35%. I do not own Nvidia. I used to own it, and this is one of those stupid mistakes. I mean, you probably heard my story already 1,000 times. So I bought Nvidia. I have to go now actually to a larger chart. I bought Nvidia somewhere here when I was working. And I remember like back then, pre-split, this was $175. It dropped after the huge jump back in 2018, like the crypto bull market, the first big crypto bull market. So it went up, and then we went like literally, okay, it says now $7 all the way to $3 and something, but it was above $200 and went all the way down to $170, $150 or so. And I was like, of course, there was still no talk about big data centers and GPU clusters and all of that. It was purely GPU play, gaming, and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, let's buy it because it makes sense. Doesn't make sense that the market suddenly turns hyper bearish on the stock. So I bought, and then of course the rest is history. But yeah, I sold at 3 point something X profits, and of course could have had way more. The problem with this is that this was just one of my many stocks that I had in my portfolio, even more than I have right now. Still early in the investing journey. I mean, I started back here 2016, so this was 2 years in or something. Still a beginner, and I'll be honest, I didn't even dive that deep into the whole future of NVIDIA data centers and all of that, because it already existed by then, right? Back in 2021, 2022, data centers and all of that was already part of the story. But when you do not follow the company closely, you probably miss something. Then, of course, the timing of ChatGPT, even if you followed NVIDIA, you couldn't have predicted that. But even after that, I mean, I had plenty of chances, right, to buy it back, because I've covered NVIDIA a ton. I've covered Omniverse a ton. And I guess back then everything was cheap. The Metas under 100, Amazon under 100, Tesla at 100 and something. So, okay, looking back, it's true there were plenty of other stocks that were quite cheap. So Yeah, but it's definitely one of my biggest mistakes, for sure. Some will say, "Oh, but you also sold Palantir at $70." But Palantir was not a mistake selling at 70, because I bought at 10, bought at 6, bought at 7, bought at 20, sold at 70. I don't think that's a mistake, especially not because of my reasoning behind that. Nvidia was a mistake. Nvidia was a big mistake. Il faut que tu visites Montréal. He says that I have to visit Montreal. He doesn't know that j'étais à Montréal. I was in Montreal actually in 2019. Was 40 degrees Celsius there. We played golf, 18 holes with a caddy and all of that. It was quite fun. I visited McGill because a friend of mine was studying there. Very cool place. Very cool place. Looks a bit like Hogwarts, like some of the buildings there, if some of you are from there. Hello, Couch. First time catching you live. Still bull on Nvidia. Nothing changed since 2 days ago. No, nothing changed since 2 days ago. And I'll say the truth right now. If by the end of the day it's down 10, 20%, I will say the same thing. I'm still bullish on the company, but I don't own it. So voila. Have you done SMCI? I did a video about SMCI late last night. So SMCI managed to beat the buzzer, and the stock is up 18%. I thought this would be up way more than that. But then again, the stock is already up quite a lot this year. So maybe there is that. Plus, if you read through some of the things that they wrote, they haven't fixed anything, to be honest. They are still working on that. So the only good thing is that they are not getting delisted. The bad thing is that the internal issues are still issues. They're working on making sure that these issues disappear, but you would have thought that since last August they would have tackled those issues. So yeah, I'm not buying this company. So it's a good business overall, very important to the whole sector, but I'm not buying this business because I just don't trust management at all. Lemonade, let's see. So Q4 earnings beat, but guidance source investor sentiment. So I guess guidance was a miss. Actually, I know who we should look at for Lemonade. Let me show you. Where is it? Here. So voila, this is Lemonade's quarter. This is from Brad Freeman. Great follow on X Stock Market Nerd. So for a quarter, beats across the board. Annual guidance did miss. Revenue missed by 1%. EBITDA missed by 13%. Guidance includes a $20 million impact for the LA wildfires. And Q1 EBITDA guidance missed by $17 million. I mean, it was a decent quarter. It was a decent quarter. I'm not going to do a video about it anymore because these live streams are better, in my opinion. So, what? I already answered that. This is very good. Like the trailing 12 months gross loss ratio over time, that keeps coming down. So that's good to see, and that's what you want to see, right? Because I mean, the whole thing for Lemonade is that they use AI, machine learning, and all of that. They should be doing better than the legacy systems. So this is a positive thing to see. You can actually see it here, gross loss ratio. It's coming down quite rapidly. Of course, next quarter they're going to take a hit because of the LA wildfires. But okay, one-time thing. So yeah, they're still losing money. That's the thing. They're still losing money. And there are some metrics that, to be honest, are a bit weird. Like the adjusted free cash flow metric is cash flow from operating activities less capex plus net borrowings under financing agreement. That's quite strange. And then another one is the excluding growth spend. So when they're talking about EBITDA or expenses, they always say a number and then like excluding growth spend. I'm sorry, but if everybody starts excluding growth spend like sales and marketing just to show maybe a better metric or profitability side, then what's the point anymore? Like, of course, you spend to grow. Every company does that. So, yeah, strange things. Why is it not showing like a normal? Voila, like this. Yeah, the car part of the business is still taken. I mean, it's a big opportunity for them, but it's one with more risk than pet insurance, for example, for sure. Yeah. Okay. Well, First Solar. Let's see. I know guidance beat because I already checked before. I cheated. So for the quarter, GAAP EPS of $3.65, missed by $1.04, but revenue beat by $30 million. As for net sales, they expect a number between $5.3 to $5.8 billion. Consensus is 5.52. So, okay, that's fine. Diluted EPS, $17 to $20. So that is fine. I mean, we've seen the same reaction with Enphase. I think Enphase reported a couple of weeks ago, and the stock was also up after earnings, but then it went back red. So, yeah, that's a funny one. But I mean, with First Solar, I've showed you this on. Let me show you. Let me load this up real quick. It seems very cheap. That's the thing. It seems very cheap. FIFA God, my pleasure. I assume you're good at the game. Hopefully, you're not buying too many coins on Ultimate Team. Thoughts on Coinbase? I'll check Coinbase in a second, but let's see. Huh? First Solar. So First Solar, as you can see, has done well quite okay in the last 3 years, right? Despite the huge negative sentiment around these types of names, still up 130%. Market cap $17.45 billion and a forward PE of 8.1 times. But this is a company that's expected to grow, and I don't think you can see. No, you cannot even see the whole thing. So I just have to read it. Yeah. But you can see the sales figures. So expected to grow sales by 30% in fiscal 25, then another 20% in fiscal 26, and then another 6.8% in fiscal 2027. Bottom line is expected to grow 67%, then another 43%, and then another 12.7%. So it's a very low PE for the expected growth in the coming years. The current average analyst price target still sits very high, like 61% higher than the price we're at right now. So, yeah, not bad. Not bad. As for Coinbase, and again, with First Solar, the big difference here with First Solar compared to an Enphase, for example, is that Enphase is very dependable on people like you and me. First Solar, a bit less. But both are connected to, of course, interest rates being higher or lower. Coinbase. So Coinbase right now, I don't know why, but yeah, well, just 53% higher, the average analyst price target. So I guess the stock did take a hit. Yeah, did take a hit in the last month or so. Look, I was previously interested in that name. I'm not that interested in that name. If you want, I mean, you can just buy Robinhood, and it's a bit cheaper, I think, and it's growing quite nicely as well. So, so yeah, Robinhood probably a better play in my opinion. Haven't touched FIFA since FIFA 14. FIFA 14 was a good one. FIFA 17 was one of my favorites. The first one was FIFA 2005 on my PSP. You're not missing much, to be honest. It's been trash since then. So good riddance. You're probably saving yourself some money. Any predictions on Rocket Lab? I mean, we can already know a bit what's going on, right? If you go and look at the launches that they did in Q4, so you can calculate that already. I think that the attention is just going to be on Neutron. Do we have more contracts that they're going to announce for 27 and onwards? Yes or no? Are they still on track for launch mid-year, like tests? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, then the stock goes up. If the answer is no, then it's probably coming down quite rapidly. But I have no intentions on selling any shares. What platform? That was Koifin. I have a link. You can get 20% off. But to be honest, it's only, I'll be very honest, like, of course, use my link as much as you want. But if you're not using it on a daily basis, I don't think you should be paying the price. It's not cheap. Dlocal thoughts. This is the first time so many people are interested in Dlocal. Like, I've been talking about this company for so long. Every time I make a video, nobody wants to watch it. But now that we're back up a little bit, suddenly it becomes interesting. Huh? I see you guys. I see you. Yeah, I mean, Dlocal was, in my eyes, a no-brainer. Under 10, fast-growing company. Yes, there were some headwinds, but it's fast-growing. It's profitable. It's in a market that I like, which is Latin America. Of course, with emerging markets, you always have some extra risks, right? The devaluation of a currency, especially in the markets that they're working in. But I mean, when you get the previous CFO of Mercado Libre and he becomes your CEO, I don't know why I shouldn't trust him. I was very happy to hear this, that they're not exploring a sale. They did get an approach last year, and I'm happy they didn't sell, because I want to see the share price way higher than where we're at right now. I mean, this is just a market cap of $3.6 billion. I think this can become a much, much bigger company in the future. Their report tomorrow, I will, tomorrow after the market closes, I will definitely cover that one. And yeah, I came from far with this one. I was down for a while, because my average was 10 or 11, and all the time when it went under it, well, wasn't that great. But now I'm doing quite well with this position. So I front run. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I get accused of moving the markets, especially with Nebius. 3 videos and 3 times the stock moves on the way up, every time. It's crazy. But just so we're clear here, I do not manipulate the markets. I wish, but I don't. Are you still planning to add Lift and Evolution? So if I were to add a new position, it would probably be Evolution. Why can't I here? Why? Because with Lyft, although Lyft, again, there is a big disconnect. I have Uber already. So when Uber goes up, usually what happens, Lyft will go up as well. If one goes down, it takes the other one down. So I don't want to have a double whammy in my portfolio. Plus, Evolution, in my opinion, is the disconnect is a bit bigger and it's more profitable. It's growing. So the only problem with Evolution AB is that I'll have to buy it on the Swedish market. Have to buy Swedish kronen and all of that. I don't know if I want to, but it's a very good company. Very good company. The stock is beaten down, but I wouldn't surprise if this outperforms the market by a lot in the coming year or two, for sure. I mean, not for sure because I don't know, but if I could buy it in dollars, I would probably do it. But then again, like I said in the last 40 minutes, I rather focus on my my money destroyer, my little AMD, which is $105. Whoa, what happened here? So it did go lower. Okay, interesting. Maybe I'll add a little bit more then. Secretly works for BlackRock. No, but 2 years ago, I almost worked for a pretty big private Swiss bank. But it clicked. Like, I had an interview, I talked with the folks there for a while, and I explained back then Tesla was at $100 and all the, but supply chain issues, there's no demand, they can't make cars, blah, blah, blah. And when I explained the whole thesis and everything, the questions that I got, I did not expect to get these types of amateur questions from people in those positions. And that's when I told myself, I'm like, you could be making good money, but do you really want to come to work every day and hear this bullshit? Excuse my language. And I was like, you're right. Continue with what you're doing. And to be honest, it was a very good move because I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now. Evo is a sin stock. Yeah, because it's online casinos. So I guess, yes, maybe, yeah, okay. But if you want to make money, you want to make money, no? AMD was 104. Yeah, okay, 104, 103. Apparently, it was 104 a couple of hours ago as well. Interesting. I mean, if let's actually open the crystal ball thing. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. This is a stupid technical analysis chart, even though there's nothing to analyze. So according to my Picasso painting here, we are now beneath the uptrend line, which is very bad for the stock. RSI is getting quite low. So maybe based on all these lines and colors that you're seeing here on the screen, maybe it might go under $100. Who knows? Previously, we were at around 95, 96 back here in September and October of 2023, and we did see it rebound. Could we see it again? Maybe. But then again, Nvidia reports tonight. A good report probably pushes this one back above that uptrend line, which again, you can draw yourself. It's basically me taking this point right here and drawing it all the way to this point. So you can always change that over time, but this line has been drawn a couple of weeks back, so we are not changing that. But again, I keep saying the same thing. I couldn't care less about these things. Like, we could be doing this and that and this and that, and like, ooh, it's like, this is really a Picasso paint. I couldn't care. Like, this doesn't tell you what the business is doing. These things here don't say anything. Literally nothing. If you're a trader, of course, these things are important, and you're probably even going to look at these things, like even smaller. But me, I don't care. I like AMD at these prices, at 105, at 110. If we go to 100 or 95, I will just buy more. I will just buy more, and that's why I build my position up slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Xiaomi. Can I find this? The phone maker turned into car builder. I can't even write this name. How many tickers do you need? Oh, wow. Not bad, huh? The last year, it's up 333%. Not bad. I mean, their car is basically a copy pasta from Porsche, let's be honest. And And the phones, to be honest, I haven't followed the story with their phones. I know they do a lot of stuff these days. I've seen a video from that famous tech YouTuber. He bought like a lot of things from them, like a hair dryer and whatnot, like fancy schmancy stuff. But I have no interest in that name. The only one I own is the king. It's my Alibaba. My Alibaba, which is up already 66% year to date. This is master move. But yeah, I think we can go much higher. I'm not selling because even at these prices, even if it's up 66% or 84% in the last year, although I didn't buy it before, but I think we can go higher, especially if cloud continues to accelerate. Thoughts on Google, Sarah asks. Thoughts on Google? I like Google. I bought Google last week, of course, at a higher price than we are at right now. I mean, higher price, couple of dollars extra, $10 more. I don't care. It's just more shares of a great company. And apparently YouTube crosses 1 billion mark for monthly podcast users. So yeah, great business. Do I follow any Japanese companies? Well, there's only one Japanese company that is worth following, and that's this one, right? Nintendo. I did a video about Nintendo 2 years ago, maybe more. And well, turns out my timing wasn't that great because it took a bit longer for the stock to go up. I think the video stock was around $11 or so. We're now at 18, and this is even before the Nintendo Switch launches. I know we had a preview, and the event is in March or April, I think. But yeah, no, this is the only Japanese name I follow. I know, and I followed a little bit. I love Japan. I went there twice. I have Japanese yen on my wallet on my phone, just in case if I feel like going to Japan tomorrow. I already have some money there. So if you haven't gone to Japan, it's great. Really, one of the best companies. So talking about companies. One of the best countries I've been to, if not the best. Who's asking? Yeah, Christine. Shark Ninja. They reported a couple of weeks ago. I think it was a good quarter. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was a good quarter. I did talk about Shark Ninja, I think, in one of the monthly videos. I don't remember what month it was, but it's again one of those companies where you probably own their products, but you never think about them as a publicly traded company. And as you can see, okay, maybe not the last 5 years, but they've done quite well. They've done quite well for a so-called hardware company. Good products, good company, good management. I don't own it, but yeah, good one. Are you watching any low caps right now? I am, to be honest, no. I stopped watching at the end of last year when the things after the election, when everything went just up parabolically, and I was like, you know what, no point in wasting time and energy on these things. So at the moment, no. Thoughts on Reddit? Has it gone to zero yet? No, not yet. Okay. Thoughts on Reddit? Well, as you can see, since it went public, the stock did very well. Very well. Apparently, they plan on introducing paywalls this year. So I don't know who's going to pay for those things, but fine. Last quarter, the stock went down after that. Yeah. To be honest, it's true I can find some useful information on that platform, but I just don't like the platform. Maybe the moderators, a lot of them. Rocket Lab, I already covered. We'll cover the earnings tomorrow. Could or could not buy before the earnings. I'm tempted for on Rocket Lab, except for that lawsuit by a short seller. A lawsuit by a short seller. I saw a thread on X from a short seller, but I did not know there was a lawsuit. Plus, that short seller thread or whatnot was such an amateurish thing. Like, it didn't make any sense. But apparently I can't find it at the moment. But yeah, it was. I mean, they went on and on and on about oh, they don't have enough water, so they will never launch. They will only launch in 2 years. I'm like, what? It's not like they're launching from a desert. What other things did they say? Oh yeah, here. With Neutron years behind schedule and Electron stagnating, Rocket Lab is in a far more precarious position than investors realize. Many industry insiders question whether it should even be publicly traded. I mean, what kind of stupid argument is that? Like, do we not know plenty of companies that are unprofitable that are publicly traded? Plus, again, the Neutron years behind schedule. As long as management doesn't change the timing of the testing and the launch, who first of all, who the heck is Bleecker Street Research? I don't know. Electron stagnating. I'm pretty sure they still have 100% mission success and they're launching what is it, on a monthly basis a couple of times now. So yeah, I'm not really taking those things too seriously, to be honest. Raj, Robinhood, we did touch on it a little bit. Good company, good momentum. Hopefully they open up in Europe faster than expected. Still at $50, still up significantly year to date. So I know you wrote this a couple of times, so let me check Innoviz Technologies. Okay, you see, to me, this is already a no. It's under $1. Penny stocks, I don't touch. I don't touch. Any thoughts on DXYZ? Well, what's that? Dorsey block? DXYZ? Is DXYZ? Destiny Tech is another penny stock? No, but it's small, like $57 million in market cap. It's small. And what is it actually? The fund's investments, la la la. Someone explain to me here. Maybe this guy. He says SpaceX. So is this like a SpaceX copycat? DXYZ. Let's see. The Destiny Tech 100. Let's see what they own. Huh? Let's see what they own. Marco, no, I will not be live for NVIDIA earnings. Jose will be live on his channel. So I highly suggest you go watch him on his channel. I'll just do a recap video after the earnings call because I'm very tired, and yeah, we'll do a live stream tomorrow as always. So here it is. I don't know if you can see it. So this is it, DXYZ. To be honest, first time I hear about this. So the current portfolio is 36.9% SpaceX, then Revolut, then Axiom, OpenAI, Boom Supersonic. It's a pretty cool company, by the way. Superhuman, Epic Games, Instacart, blah, 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 all the rest here. So you're basically buying it for, 36.9% in SpaceX. Is it worth it? I don't know. I've said also from the start, remember, like Elon said, I will make sure that retail investors will get, I don't think we'll get access to a SpaceX Starlink IPO. I don't even know how that's even possible. I'm already pissed that that Tesla itself didn't use their cash to buy a significant stake in XAI. Like, he bought Twitter because he was selling shares, and we Tesla shareholders took the hit, so we basically paid for that as well. But we don't really get any benefits from it. Like, okay, we can have Grok inside our Tesla cars, but okay, I don't care that much about that. I wanted to have a stake in those other companies, but oh well. You live and you learn. I could have invested in OpenAI at $150 billion in valuation, but what's the point? $150 billion in market cap, a valuation of 150 billion, plus I would be probably locked for a long, long time. And what's my return going to be? Like, if I have to keep it for, I don't know, 10 years or whatnot, or until they go public or get completely acquired or get destroyed, what's the point? So I skipped. Elf, we talked about that. I'm not that interested in cosmetics at the moment. Greetings from Saudi Arabia. Are you from Riyadh or from, what's the other place? The F1 Jeddah track. Greetings as well. Thoughts on SMCI? Well, they don't get delisted, so there is that. I'm just not buying it. I still don't trust the management. Are you a Bitcoin investor? No, I was a Bitcoin investor from 2017 to 2021. I was a crypto investor for all those years. So I went through a bull and bear market and then back to a bull market. And to be honest, was crazy. Like, I don't think I've seen anything like this. Like, when I entered 2017, like the amount of things I had to go through to buy cryptocurrency was insane. Like, I had to go to this website and submit this and that and la la la. Ugh. Good times. I mean, good times, yeah. But then 2018, 2019, bad times, like crypto winter. But it was crazy. Like in 2021, when it went up for the first time to $60,000, like, I went back into my Ethereum wallet and I found some coins that I got airdropped, was worth like $1,000 or something like that, for free. Like, I didn't even know what the heck those things were, and just they were just there. So I basically converted it to Ethereum, but then sold it all because I was like, okay, enough with this. Enough. Jose Najarro is his channel. It's, if you go to my past live stream where I basically host with him, his link is there. Plus, if you need any information about semiconductors, he also has a very good newsletter. What the chip just happened. Zeko with the 49, I would assume those are Czech Republic kronen or something like that. So thank you very much for that, for a super chat. Do you have a bear case for HIMS? Yes. Either the FDA destroys their weight loss business, well, part of the weight loss business, that could, first of all, hurt their guidance. Second, compounding drugs, there's always question marks about that, like long-term effects or whatnot. So if suddenly a report comes out, a study comes out, and there are dangerous signs, I mean, those things aren't new, of course, and I'm not a doctor, then this could hurt HIMS. And then a more realistic one, I would say, is just someone like Amazon really wanted to focus more and more on that market. They could easily destroy a business like HIMS. I mean, they already have One Medical. It's also a subscription model and all of that. So if Amazon really wants to focus on that, I think they can destroy. Amazon can destroy any business if they really want to. Let's be honest. But the market is big enough for HIMS to be successful. And I know everybody's focused on GLP, but HIMS is a platform to launch multiple products for the future already today. So yeah, the bear case exists. I just don't know if they will materialize anytime soon. And I don't own HIMS. Starscream, I like it. I like the Transformer name. What do you think about air test systems? If they can't flourish now with AI race, when will they ever grow? Good question. I will ask Jose tomorrow during the live stream because I don't really follow them. I do follow Micron. Did you hear rather news on Micron? No, I did not. So yesterday, Micron Technology begins shipment of how do you call this again? Gamma. Oof. 6th generation DRAM. Okay. And we also had some news, I think 2 weeks ago or something like that. I mean, they'll report earnings in end of March. We already know that there are going to be 100 basis points headwinds. So yeah, Micron, I'm very bullish on them. And yeah, if it goes down, people ask questions. If it goes up, people ask questions. I mean, let them do their job. If they're successful, if they execute correctly, this can go much, much higher, in my opinion. Jeddah. Okay, so I assume you also maybe watch Formula One when it's there. Well, maybe. Intel. Well, actually, what's up with Intel today? 20 back under 24. To be honest, I mean, it might be crazy to say this, but first of all, we're still up 17% year to date, by the way. I'm much happier to be at $24, $23 than at 27. Because back at 27, there were all of those rumors of them getting acquired in this and that. I don't want this to happen. I want Intel to stay Intel Foundry to be successful. And I think by the end of the year, we'll have our answer and either going to be very, very happy or sad. This is Seeking Alpha. I also have a link if you want. There are plenty of links underneath. And by the way, every link I have is because I use their products. Google buy at 173. Well, I did buy Google last week, so of course now the stock is a bit lower. So I'm a holder and I'm biased. Salesforce, they report later today, so maybe I'll wait a little bit. Walmart at 93, which means they fell a bit. Yeah, a bit. After their latest earnings, I would assume. Yeah, it's an interesting. I mean, it's an interesting one. It's a crazy company, an amazing company. Why not just go with Amazon? This is always the same answer I give. Greetings from Portugal, from Marcos, super fan from this side. Thank you very much. What's your opinion on what is that? Obrigado. Yeah, I heard about that name. Seems like it took a very nice haircut since August. I mean, healthcare and all of these names are taking big hits. So they discover, invent, develop, manufacture, and commercialize medicine for treating various diseases worldwide. So what? It's like because that name is very, very popular, no? Okay, so it says their peers are Vertex. I would assume maybe also a Moderna, although Moderna is focused on a specific thing. Interesting. There are probably a lot of names like this in this industry that are beaten down quite heavily. Like we've looked at Moderna, mRNA, for example. It's also like beaten down completely. This was a vaccine hype, so the business was doing quite well. Of course, the moment they come out with something new, the business will start to do well. I think their partnership with Merck, cancer treatment, if I remember correctly. So with these types of companies, you have to look at their pipeline, the projects that can come out, the markets, when are they approved or not. So apparently here with Regeneron, they get an FDA review acceptance for whatever this is. I don't know. It's like the craziest names out there every time. Like even with the GLP ones, right? It's a semaglutide and tiraglutide and this and that. Can you can't come up with some normal names? Lots of questions about Archer, and I doubt something has changed since I made a video a couple of months ago, other than the stock being up. So this was to be expected. A raise at a high valuation makes sense. Again, with Archer, with Joby, it's first proof that your products are useful and that people will use them. Because think about it, flying cars. It's basically that. Do you want flying cars over your head? The noise, the danger, regulations, etc., etc. I'm sure those sky taxis could be great, but we have to be realistic here. Like, do you see them flying over your head on a daily basis? I don't know. We'll see in the future. I mean, cool concept for sure, idea, but it's still a, let's say, proof of concept, I would say. Although I know they have already demoed and tested things out, but still, if you're at a market cap of $4 billion, still early on in your revenue growth journey, first show me that people actually use these things. Well, it seems like Novo Nordisk has been moving in the last couple of days, yeah? From the lows of $75, it's now at $90. So same as before. I think this is an amazing company that was trading at a very good price. Why didn't I buy? Because I bought something else. Can't buy everything, eh? Can't buy everything. Where do you do your research on stocks? Everywhere. On Seeking Alpha, on the Motley Fool, on X, on the company's websites, on Coifin, on FinChat, everything. Everything I can use, I use. There are no such things as stupid questions here. But what can I do as European investor with the FX euro dollar? Because when I have American stocks and the euro is gaining, then I'm losing some of it. Correct. But for the last couple of years, you have been making money thanks to this. Like if you switch back from dollars to euro. It's true that in the last, we were at 1.02 in the last couple of weeks, and now we're at 1.05. Okay, fine. It's not that big of a deal. But me, as a European, my portfolio is in dollars since, well, 2016. And well, I made money from that. If I sell, of course. Guten Abend from Berlin. What's your opinion on Big Bear AI? Even with the contracts that they get, I would still put them in a AI meme category. And I see that they're also down a little bit, but fine. I wouldn't buy them. I know they've performed extremely well since the lows here. I don't buy this thing. Grab is a much better company. I talked about them a couple of weeks ago. Grab is a much better company. Another thing is SoundHound. I know a lot of people were laughing when it was here. Where is it? $25, $28 or so at the end of 2024. Made 0 cents. made 0 cents back then, made 0 cents at 16, and apparently we're now at $10 or so. Although I think, yesterday we were at $8 and something. And even at $10, although much cheaper from a price to sales perspective than before, tomorrow I think they report earnings. A market cap of $3.3 billion, a company that loses more money today than they did before, a company that only grows rapidly because they acquired that growth. And they don't have a moat in my eyes. So it was a good trading vehicle, especially before Nvidia invested in them. And now, of course, Nvidia did not invest in them, which is why the stock, Nvidia sold their stake or their shares. That's why the stock went down. But you shouldn't have bought it because Nvidia had the position, and maybe you shouldn't have bought it to start with and sold when Nvidia sold. But the thesis here, in my opinion, just doesn't make much sense. But congrats to everyone that did buy it at $2, $3, and made a lot of money. I just don't see this as a long-term good investment. Last couple of questions here, and then I'll go eat something. Gold or Berkshire if recession? Probably gold, no? Probably gold. Gold and cash. Can't go wrong with cash. Pokemon cards as well. Sold so many Pokemon cards in the last couple of weeks. You guys have no idea. Like 5 figures worth of Pokemon cards. Believe it or not. And they outperform my stocks. That's for sure. Like one card 5x'd in the last couple of months. It doesn't make much sense, but I don't care. Money is money. Thoughts on SoFi long term? Well, I'm very bullish on SoFi, short and long term. Microsoft, good company. Stock didn't do much in the last year, I think. Good company. Nothing else to say. Very good management as well. Probably one of the best. Does it make sense to have European ETFs for the long term? I have already an all-world ETF, but is too much in the US. What's your take about it? Depends what companies are included in that European ETF. If it's like LVMH, ASML, Ferrari, L'Oreal, what else? Novo Nordisk, Rheinmetall, and all of those things, then okay, it might make sense, yeah. If you really want exposure to those companies, of course. New trader. Trader is not good. Can you explain what to do with stocks if a recession happens? Buy, sell, don't trade. First of all, you have to invest. Invest is much better because then you can sleep also better at night. Second of all, this is not personal financial advice, it's just my opinion. But recession or not recession, it's like a start of a Shakespeare show. Recession or not a recession, but it doesn't matter. In a bear market, that's usually when you make a lot of money, because that's when stocks get extremely cheap and you get them at very good prices. And the businesses, if they're strong enough, they'll get out of the recession much stronger than the way they entered it. And their competition probably goes out of the recession much weaker. So when I see red, when you see panic, I usually smile and say, oh, thank you very much. Of course, if they're bad companies, then you say thank you very much and you sell and you run. So I have a public portfolio, which you can find on the weekly videos. The top 5 is SoFi, PayPal, Alphabet, Alibaba now, and I believe it's Intel at the moment. But in the core portfolio, which I started, from the start, 2016, but has changed since, it's very easy. The majority of it is the big companies. So Tesla, it's Tesla, Amazon, Meta, Alphabet, Mercado Libre. That's basically the majority of that portfolio. Then I have some smaller positions. So yeah, all in all, that's about it. You will see me back later tonight in a video, not in a live stream. For a live stream for Nvidia, you can go to Jose's channel. I will probably link it then in the pinned comment. He will do a live stream, probably also on Amit's channel. I think they co-stream it. I will just do a quick earnings review after the earnings call, which probably means 2 hours, 3 hours after the market closes. That's Nvidia. And then probably Snowflake. And then maybe tomorrow. Lots of maybes here. Nvidia for sure tonight. Snowflake maybe. And tomorrow, Salesforce, Dlocal before the market. No, Dlocal after the market closes. But before the market closes, we have a live stream with Jose, the weekly lunchtime hour, which will probably cover Nvidia even further. So stay tuned for all of that. Thank you all for joining. Appreciate all of that. Appreciate all the likes, the super chats. I really appreciate all of that. And I'll see you all in the next one. Adios. Goodbye. Ciao, ciao.